Hey ladies, my name is Olivia and I am a pre and postnatal fitness coach as well as a personal trainer. A few of my clients and people that are not my clients have asked me to help them and give them some good exercises and good ideas on rebuilding their core after they've had a baby. So now what you have to understand, if you're a mum and you became a mum not long ago, or maybe you became a mum a while ago but you just haven't really gotten back into exercise, is that you need to start with, first of all, strengthening your pelvic floor and strengthening your core muscles internally. So you need to start working from the inside out, which means that a lot of your traditional core exercises like your normal planks and sit-ups and crunches or anything of that sort can actually end up hurting your pelvic floor further. It can result in pelvic floor prolapse, which means that you will actually have your internal parts that sit above that pelvic floor muscle. It can actually fall further down than what it is now, and everything has been weakened after you've given birth to a baby. So you need to understand that it is really important, first of all, to make sure that you get a clearance from your doctor that you can exercise in the first place. So maybe you've heard of a word, diastasis recti, which means that your abdominal muscles have separated, which is an absolutely normal thing, and it happens in most cases post-pregnancy. But you do need to first focus on strengthening your pelvic floor muscles, which is that little hammock that holds all the woman parts together, and also focus on bringing those abdominal muscles back together and closing that gap. So it is important to start with that before you start doing any vigorous exercise. So just make sure, first of all, that you don't have any issues with even starting to exercise at all with your doctor. And then if your doctor says, look, you can start getting back to exercise, but what doctors don't tell you a lot of the times is that you need to start with strengthening your internal muscles, your pelvic floor, and trying to bring your abdominal muscles back together. And only after that you can start getting into proper exercise. And if you are like me, I love sweating, I love jumping, I love doing exercise that's making me feel like I'm absolutely dead at the end of it. But you need to understand that you can't really do this until you get your core back to close to where it was before you had a baby. Otherwise you're going to end up hurting yourself even more and causing more damage. So without further ado, today I'm going to show you a few exercises that you can easily do at home. All you need is a mat. You can actually even just do them on sort of a firm surface. You can probably even do them on the bed, some of these exercises, but I do recommend a nice firm surface like a floor and a mat. So I warn you, these exercises don't look like much and they look very easy, but if you've had a baby not long ago, anywhere between 6 weeks to a year, up to a year for some women, it takes a long time, especially if they haven't taken care of their core straight away. A year later, your core might still not be where it was. Just you do need to strengthen it in order to get it back to where it was pre-baby. So we're going to start with some simple exercises today, and I've promised some of you who have asked me to do this little workout for you. And very, very important thing I cannot stress enough is that you do need to be very consistent with this. I recommend to do this little workout at least 3 times a week. It only takes about 10 minutes, if that, and please make sure that you stay consistent for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And then you can start adding exercises that are a little bit more advanced, and you know, start getting back into those sit-ups and crunches and lifting your legs up and things like that. In fact, I've spoken to a couple of moms and they said they can't even lift their legs up. They simply can't. Ooh, a little bit sticky today because it's very hot. They can't even do a basic movement like this because their abdominal muscles have weakened so much, and it's been a while since they've actually had a baby, but because they haven't really taken care of their core and their pelvic floor muscles, they're still unable to do some things that they were before baby, and they're surprised. But it's like, well, don't be surprised. Can you imagine what your internal organs have been through when you were pregnant and giving birth? So yes, it's absolutely normal, very common. So today we're going to start with just a nice simple workout, and I recommend that you do this workout for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then we will progress from there on. I'm going to post another video later on, and we will start doing things that are a little bit more advanced and start really getting your core back in shape. Okay, so we're going to start with the first exercise. Like I said, it doesn't look like much, it doesn't look very vigorous, but you do need to start with these exercises. So you're going to lay flat on the floor with your feet flat on the floor as well, and we're going to start with pushing your lower back into the mat. Very important. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Lift your hips, sort of tilt your hips a little bit forward like this. Tighten it, hold it there, and now we're going to lift one leg up and back down. Nice and slow, keeping all that squeeze, keeping all that tight. Down. Breathe out as you lift your leg up. In through the nose. Keep those muscles squeezed as much as you can. If you're doing it correctly, you'll start feeling like it's actually not as easy as it looks. If you've had a baby and if you've got weak core, this is not going to feel too easy. If you want to take it to the next level, if you feel like it really is not doing much at all, then you can do a little bit more advanced version of the same exercise, but make sure you keep the back of your spine should be touching the mat at all times. You should not have a gap there. That's very important. You can do this. Keep it tight. Again, very important. It will do nothing if you're not engaging your core muscles and your pelvic floor muscles. If you're starting to feel like it's uncomfortable, you can go back and finish this round off with just lifting one leg at a time whilst holding that leg on the floor, the other leg. Do about 20 in total, okay? So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. 20 of those. Next exercise we're going to do is a side plank elevations. So we'll get on your elbow like this. This is actually going to be harder than it looks, because if you still haven't strengthened your core post baby, it looks easy, but it's not. Bend your knees like that to support yourself. Lift yourself up, squeeze very tight here, and lower back down. Tap the mat, up again, hold it for about 3 seconds, and back down. Try to use your obliques, the sides of your abs, rather than pushing through that arm. That arm should be just there for balance. You can put this arm here if you're feeling a little bit like it's too hard and can't balance, that's fine. Or if you're feeling a little bit more advanced, you can put your arm up there. Okay, now we're going to turn around, so we're going to do 10 on that side and 10 on this side. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole 10, not to make this video boring and long, but we do 10 of everything. Okay, next exercise we're going to do, feet flat on the floor like this. Going to put your arms up, tighten everything here as much as possible again, and you're going to roll your pelvis back a little bit and back up. Back again like this, just a little bit, and out like that, and forward. Only go as far back as feels comfortable. If this is too much, only go to here. And up. And make sure you breathe. As you squeeze your abs, you breathe out and okay, if that feels a little bit strenuous on your lower back, just have a little stretch like this, just to stretch your back out. Alright, and exercise number 4 that we're going to do is going to be a variation of a plank. This is going to be obviously a slightly easier version of the plank. Okay, so you're going to lie down with your elbows at a right angle like this. You're going to lift your feet up, and then you're going to slowly lift your core and really tuck those muscles in, okay? You need to really push that belly up button towards your spine. You're going to squeeze it, and then you're going to slowly lower it back down and bring your legs, bring your feet back down as well. Back up. Breathe out. And down. Okay. Up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tuck your hips in like that. Don't let it stick out, that's not going to help. You've got to really tuck it all in, tighten, back down, and feet back down. Up again. Down, and feet down. So the important thing is to make sure that all here is all you're keeping it all really, really tight, okay? The progression of that is you can actually keep that core tight, and the kitty has decided to do some pelvic floor and core work with us as well. The progression of that would be is to lift it up and hold it. And try to hold it for as long as possible until you're starting to feel strain in your lower back muscles. Try to keep your shoulders down, try not to do this. And keep your head facing the mat. So you're not doing that or that. You want a nice straight spine. And relax. Okay, now I will show you one last exercise. These exercises are great for your pelvic floor and your core as well, which is exactly what you need to begin with before you start doing anything else. So exercise number 5. Alright, and last exercise, we're going to do leg extensions, I would call them. We're going to start off again laying on the mat with your feet flat on the ground. You're going to tuck that lower back into the mat again. Bring your hips up a little bit. Tuck this all in, and we're going to take turns at extending one leg slowly out and back up. Out, back up. Keeping all of this nice and tight. It will not work if you're not squeezing all that really tight as you can. Keep pushing that lower back into the mat. Out and in. Out. Keeping all of that squeeze. You might not feel anything on your first few workouts. You might be going, I don't feel anything working. I don't feel anything squeezing. That's okay. That's because your muscles don't really remember how to work out anymore. So you need to bring them back slowly as you start doing these exercises. After the first couple of weeks, you're going to start feeling it a little bit more. So don't expect to feel everything straight away in the first session. And the next day, if you're not going to go, oh, my abs are not hurting, that workout didn't do anything. These exercises are not meant to make your abs sore. These exercises are meant to start helping you to get in touch with your core again. Start learning how to engage your core. And another little great tip, which is you can do all the time, is you can just practice sometimes whether you're sitting or you're standing. Better to do it when you're standing. You can be standing in line waiting for something, and you can just practice tightening your abdominal muscles together and relax. Tighten and relax. Like I said, you can do it standing up, you can do it in any position. Tighten and relax. Inhale. Okay, you can do this anywhere. You can be sitting and watching TV and doing that. Just make sure that your back is straight when you do this. You don't want to be hunched over because it's not going to work really. Isn't that right, Dashka? Isn't that right? You need to get your abs back to normal before you start doing cardio. Yes. Alright ladies, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to give you more exercises. If you have any questions at all, I am absolutely happy to help out and answer all the questions. So yes, no question is too silly. And even if you have had a baby already a year ago or more, but your core is still, you still feel like your core is very weak, that's because you've never really taken the time to get it back to where it was. So it won't get back to normal on its own. You do need to do the work. And like I said, once again, I'll remind you, at least 3 times a week. You need to set a reminder on your phone to make sure that you find it's only 10 minutes a day that you need to spend on your core. Oh, also with these exercises, these 5 exercises, try to repeat them 3 rounds. So do a circuit of the 5 exercises, have a little break, do another round, and then do another round. Or if you don't have time for 3 rounds, at least do 2 rounds. Okay, and then of course I am going to post another video next week for some good stretches for your back, because I know that lower back pain is another big issue for mums. So I'm going to make a video for you next week for that as well, to help you release that tension in your lower back. But these exercises are actually going to help you as well, because the stronger your core is, the less likely you're going to have back pain, because back pain comes from the weakness of the core. Alright, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you guys later when you've watched the video and you've done the exercises, and I'd love to hear some feedback from you. Okay, see you next time.